Oh, it's cool in here. Jesus. Hello and welcome to Review Rant Random, and I'm going to be talking about a town called Eureka, or Eureka as it's just called when you watch it. Dun dun dun. Okay, now I sat and waffled in here months ago about Stargate, and I've been missioning through quite a lot of TV shows this year, last year now. Sleepy Hollow, now to shout about. Finished Gotham finally, really enjoyed Gotham. I think Gotham was so well made, like film wise, and it was great to give like so much like on-screen story to all the characters of the Batman franchise. But I didn't really sit down and go blah, 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 Gotham. And to be honest with you, I wasn't really like, I'm away from doing reviews for TV shows, mainly because there's quite a lot to take in, and then spoiler. But a town called Eureka, or Eureka in this case, I remember when it came out years back, and obviously it came out in 5 seasons, and I think it is victim of the writer's strike. At that point where we had that big writer's if years back, it affected a lot of series like Prison Break and stuff like that. Always looked interested on the box. Now obviously I'm a fan of the X-Files, and ever since watching the X-Files and revisiting them finally, I kind of like look for the next TV show, because I've got loads of films and watch films and I like commentaries, but like a TV show, if I like it, just knocks us out of sleep, and that's what I've been doing, obviously watching the TV shows. And one of them that I watched last year was Warehouse 13. Might have sat down and talk about it, kind of feels vaguely familiar, but Warehouse 13, I enjoyed it. It started off good, found its feet, but there was a reference to Eureka in there with Fargo, the character from Eureka Anglais. And you know, again, like, you know, Warehouse 13 got canned, it got wrapped up, it's done, it's dusted, and I haven't seen many of the characters in anything since, but I enjoyed it. But again, when I was watching Warehouse 13, I got A Town Called Eureka off Vinted for £5, the complete collection, the box set. And it was really cheap that, and I've had no problems watching it actually. When I've just think about there's not been one disc that's skipped or anything like that, so it's kind of like, you know, I went completely blind into watching it. I was like, right, okay. And again, the first episode of any kind of series is, you know, there's a lot to do and a lot drastically will change throughout that season. Some shows are better off as one season, some shows, you know, kind of just get going and they get canned and don't have an ending. And especially now if you buy something, and I personally think if you buy something that says complete collection, I would want an ending. I don't want to like get my name as Earl, never wondered what happened to Earl. Anyway, I put this on, and a couple of familiar faces you might recognise in this, like Dean Morgan, man. Morgan, man, he's the guy from Terminator 2, this tech guy. Right, he's familiar, and there's a couple of faces in the prequel, like Matt Fewer from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's in there doing a very weird Australian accent, and bloody hell. So they're in it, and you get the gist. The guy comes to the small town. Now, I just watched Twin Peaks a couple of years ago. Really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. The newer series, I was just left completely and utterly like, what the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck? But I like the idea of small town Americana things, and happening in a small town and going from there. And again, I like sci-fi. So I put this on, quite enjoyed the first season episode. I think the first episode's a pilot as well, so it's on longer than normal. And I think about 4 or 5 episodes, I was glued to this. I liked some of the stories they put out in the first season. I liked the unpredictability of the show. I thought the lead actress in it as well, when she walks around with just a bra on, I'm like, wow. You know, it was kind of like funny comedy, but not safe comedy as well, because obviously it catches you off guard a lot of the times, especially with some of the characters when suddenly they're just no more, and you're like, whoa, didn't see that coming. Runs for 5 seasons. I thought it was very eventful. I think the first 2 seasons get the town going really, and you see, like, you know, the bigger picture. Then the cameos start coming in. I think Will Wheaton is a massive, like, part of the cast to come into it as like a reoccurring guest. Jamie Kennedy popped up in one episode. I thought he would have been a really good, like, addition as well, but he's all over the place, like with Tremors. But yeah, Will Wheaton was brilliant in it. The cast come and go. It's really funny. Establish it, then it completely flips itself on the head on the fourth season, where things aren't right, and it's just almost like they completely reinvent the series by doing this, and it's just class how they've done it. And you think, what the fuck, how are they going to get out of this? But then they just roll with what the, like, put the groundwork in about time travel. You know, there's sci-fi, there's creature features kind of episodes. There's really good, like, twisty sci-fi stories that could essentially be stretched out in a movie. And as the characters grow as well, they get funnier. They're, you know, it's quite neat. And then you realise it's quite set down as well. It's always the same little bit of town, always happening there. Never really goes outside the bubble. But, you know, there's so much going on there. There's one episode where there's people miles under Earth and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, it's 5 seasons. And I've just been watching this randomly. Some nights I would get one episode watched. Some nights I would get 2 or 3. And I would have to get up and change the disc. Every disc as well is different. Every time you put it on, you can see it's been released as they've came out. Because some change, some are animated, some have easy navigation, some display. The intro goes from quite like a 2-minute long one and going around, and like the tune to get cut and slashed, just like what happened with Warehouse 13. Artie from Warehouse 13 pops up in one episode, but it's not himself. It's not Artie from Warehouse 13, but Claudia, who comes along later on in the series, comes from Warehouse 13. So there is a crossover episode as well. And then I'm watching all these episodes, and, you know, like, you know, again, one night, it might take us 3 or 4 nights to watch one episode. I'll be like knocking us out for sleep, you know. And on Christmas Eve this year, last year now actually, I put an episode on, and it was a Christmas special. And it proper threw us, really threw us, because one, it was Christmas Eve. In season 4, it's left with a cliffhanger. Season 5 starts, and he's this Christmas special. It doesn't acknowledge the cliffhanger. And I'm like, what? But obviously, it was a Christmas special when it was aired. It's probably one of the best Christmas specials I've seen. You know, it goes animated. It has a good Scooby-Doo, The Simpsons, South Park. It is so well made. I absolutely loved it. It's really funny, and it just shows you how much fun the show must have been. And it got cancelled, and it's aware it's getting cancelled. There's a line in the last episode about at least they're giving 6 weeks notice and stuff like that, which was 6 more episodes. Wraps up really nice. And to be honest with you, I'm even looking forward to actually revisiting it. 76 episodes, and it's a kind of series that could have a resurgence as well. It's been a while since this was now done. Obviously, the cast has probably moved on quite a bit. As I said, they did 5 seasons, 54 hours. I've watched this for a long time. I mean, it's been around for a while. 2013, this box set was copyrighted, so it's like 11 years. But like stuff like Justified came back. I mean, if Dallas can come back, you know what I mean? Maybe a town called Eureka could. But if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. If you like a bit of light comedy, like your X-Files, you like your stories and all that. And again, it does get a little bit gritty, but there is some seriously well-written television in that. So, see you in the outtakes. I don't know where I got to go. I know I've probably picked the worst angle. It's mainly for where the lights are. But I'm generally not really a TV guy. Like, not flicking on me collection over there, which needs sorting out massively. I don't really have a TV bit, because TV Blu-ray, there's mainly just Blu-rays in this room. TV Blu-ray I think's quite a struggle. I'm not even sure a town called Eureka has been out on Blu-ray, but again, I think when you get a Blu-ray box set, yeah, you could probably get a couple of extra episodes on the disc, but they're going to start piling up. I can see Pretty Dreadful down there. I remember, I remember startlingly Eva Green fucking mid-air in The Exorcist, and her head snaps back and her eyes open wide. That was fucking scary shit. I can see Preacher down there that I've never opened. Mr. Robot, I've never seen that actually. It's part of the Christian Status, so that's a whole collection, so maybe get me ass watching that. I know Stargate Atlantis came out on Blu-ray. Gotham I got on Blu-ray. I just thought that looked so good. I didn't know the ending. It's weird as well with TV because people are like, you haven't seen Breaking Bad. I've not seen Breaking Bad. I've not seen Game of Thrones. There's not seen 24. I've not seen Vampire Diaries. I'm just trying to think of some of the bigger ones. Walking Dead. I've not seen Walking Dead. And the reason why I have watched them is, again, like now it's different because, like, you know, Prison Break. I remember Prison Break, and I got to start season 4, and a customer spoiled it for us. Like, spoiled it. And it wasn't he did it on purpose, he just didn't think about it. But that's what happens when TV shows are all talked about, especially when we're working in the shop and stuff like that, it's really hard to avoid spoilers. It's really hard to avoid like just little things that, you know, like you pick up off customers talking about, especially the hypes, like Wednesdays and, you know, everything like trending. Like, I haven't seen Stranger Things, you know, because people come in and go, oh yeah, they all got murdered to death, and like, you think, well, did I catch all that? And you're like, someone walked in and spelled James Bond on day 1 for us. I was like, well, I wasn't going to say it anyway, but thank you for that. But again, people come out the pictures and just want to talk to somebody. They walk into the shop and be like, you like movies? Guess what? I'm like, guess where I was when you were watching that movie. But yeah, as I said, like, it's hard to, I think with TV shows as well, getting the collections and all that, but that will not be filed upstairs. I think that deserves to go on the shelf of keep safe, because I would like to rewatch it now and see the little chicks, because it's aware of what it's doing, and it looks like it was a fun project as well, because a lot of the cast, even though they disappear, always come back for a cheeky cameo at some point. So yeah, thanks for watching this review for Eureka. Even though it's called A Town Called Eureka on the box set, it never ever says it on the title screen at all when it pops up. Thanks for watching, listening to me, and putting up with me. Goodbye for now. So why are you